So you want to work here in the Big Apple? Well, I think you should have your head examined. Now, I'm in Brooklyn, New York, which is bad enough as it is, but if you work in Manhattan, man, oh man, it is a challenge to do service work. Between alternate side street parking regulations, between the double parking regulations, and that's the reason I made this video, because they just reduced the allowable double parking time limit for commercial vehicles, which currently is 3 hours, and they're knocking it down to 20 minutes. So talk about a challenge. I mean, literally, you're gonna have to get a kid to sit in your truck while you're doing the work. 20 minutes, are you kidding me? Service calls run anywhere from an hour up to 4 or 5 hours, up to all day long. I mean, this is just insane, and that's the reason I made this video. I ran across an article in a publication that's put out by the Plumbing Foundation called The Pipecaster, and I just wanted to show you guys and make you guys aware of what's coming down here in New York. Things are just getting worse. It's just incredibly worse. And with the coming of congestion pricing, thanks to Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, it's just going to be one big challenge, one big expense that, by the way, is just going to get passed along to the consumer. That's going to go on to their bill. But doing work here is really, really a challenge. I mean, I've gotten used to it. I've kind of got my own way of doing things, but it's me. Don't forget, I'm not depending upon my workers. We have narrow one-way streets. We have street sweepers. We have sanitation trucks. We have all kinds of crazy stuff trying to get through. So if we're double parked, it's really, really stressful, but also, I mean, I don't know what else to do. That's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. Well, actually, it's not been as bad, but it's just a real challenge to do service work. And now with this oncoming new rule where you're only allowed to double park for 20 minutes, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I work alone. Frankly, I'm not going to hire a guy to sit in the truck with me, although, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to come down the pike. We have meter maids going around just like veering around corners waiting to give you summonses. And also, I want to say in this upcoming little newsletter that I'm going to read you via this little screencast, in the last 2 years, they've been putting speed cameras up and red light cameras all throughout the city in an effort to slow everybody down. But bottom line is, it's a big moneymaker for the city. And if you get a certain number of speeding tickets or red light tickets within a 12-month period, you're going to be required to take a driving course. You're going to have to verify it. Otherwise, basically, they're going to impound your vehicle. And I am guilty of getting quite a number of speeding tickets. Now, they define speeding as anything over 25 miles an hour. So there's a grace period of 10 miles over the posted 25 mile an hour speed limit. And I'm here to tell you, I am guilty of getting a number of tickets. I haven't quite made it to 15 in one calendar year, but I am not proud to tell you, I came home one week and I was the proud recipient of $250 in fines. Basically, that's 5 tickets, 5 $50 fines for getting caught in different speeding zones. And I was going 36 miles an hour. That was how fast I was going. And they deemed that as speeding, especially in a school zone. The problem is, it's hard to really realize if you're in a school zone. Sometimes it's posted, sometimes it's not. So it's a real challenge. So I'm going to jump into this screencast and we'll see what's coming here in New York. And then we'll come back and I'll get your thoughts. So stay tuned. All right, so this publication is put out by the Plumbing Foundation of the City of New York, of which I am a current member, and I get these newsletters when they're available. And I was just reading through one of them recently, and I noticed that they have here, New York City D.O.T. adopts double parking rules, and New York City adopts dangerous vehicle abatement law. Now check this out. Now, I don't know if any of you have had the privilege of working in the city, doing plumbing work or doing any kind of service work, but it's one big pain in the butt. But currently, If you're a commercial vehicle, there was a 3-hour window by which you were allowed to double park, but that's all going to change. Check this out. NYC DOT adopts new parking rules. The New York City Department of Transportation finally adopted the rules that it proposed last year, March 27, 2019, on double parking, 34 RCNY 4-08. The Plumbing Foundation submitted comments on the proposed rules, which argued that placing a hard 20-minute cap on double parking as proposed by DOT should not apply to emergency service vehicles, such as plumbing, etc. Any kind of service vehicles, electricians, HVAC. And we emphasize that the new congestion pricing plan that's proposed, which we anticipate will impose a major hardship on service vehicles, should be taken into consideration. Unfortunately, DOT is moving forward with its proposed revisions, which will change the allowances of double parking from expeditiously making service calls to a 20-minute maximum while engaged in loading or unloading for such service calls. The rules also now explicitly state no person shall double park a commercial vehicle when it blocks only one lane of travel in the same direction. No person shall stand, stop, or park a vehicle on a street at any time in such manner or under such conditions as to leave fewer than 10 feet of roadway width available for free movement of vehicle traffic. Now that's all fine and well, but I'm going to click over to this next tab here to show you that currently the standing limit, no driver shall make pickups, deliveries, or service calls may stand for a period of more than 3 hours unless otherwise posted. A vehicle or combination of vehicles not being used for expeditious pickups, deliveries, or service calls counts as a parked vehicle subject to the parking rules applicable at the particular location. So that's all going to change. It's basically going to go from 3 hours to 20 minutes. That's going to be one big party. So we're going to have to be running down every 20 minutes. Well, you know what's going to happen, guys? They're going to be put in a position where they're going to have to hire guys, gophers, to sit in the truck and still sit in the double park truck, and they'll just drive it around the corner in case the Department of Traffic, is rolling around with their cars looking to give tickets. And so you leave a guy in a truck and you know what? In a lot of cases, it's going to be cost effective. Otherwise, you're going to get tickets up the gazoo. Now, let's check out this little tidbit. New York City adopts dangerous vehicle abatement law. The New York City Council has adopted a dangerous vehicle abatement law to address the dangers of exceeding posted speed limits and failing to comply with traffic signals. Registered vehicle owners of any motor vehicle that the New York City Department of Finance has found to have accumulated 5 or more red light camera violations or 15 or more school speed camera violations within any 12-month period will be required to take a safe vehicle operation course regarding responsible vehicle ownership. Exclusions to this are any vehicle owned or leased by the United States government, state, or local government. Sure, it figures. The New York City Department of Transportation will send notices by first-class mail to all registered vehicle owners who receive a red light camera violation or school speed camera violations, noting the requirement to enroll in a safe vehicle operation course if they have accumulated the aforementioned number of violations. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty close with these school speed zones. Anyway, I'm not making a joke, and not that I speed, but they give you, there's a 10-mile-an-hour grace period. So if you got to go 10 miles over the limit before the camera goes off. But I got to tell you, 25 miles an hour is like standing still. And sometimes you don't realize it. You all of a sudden you come to a school zone and you don't realize it. Anyway, the law also gives the DOT the authority to impose a safe vehicle operation course on those with accumulated violations and to seize and impound vehicles. Specifically, failure to complete the safe vehicle operation course or provide certification of a completed course within a stated period of time may result in seizure and impoundment of a registered owner's vehicle. However, a registered vehicle owner may contest such notice before the Office of Administrative Trials and Hearings. If within 6 months of completion of the Safe Vehicle Operation course, no additional red light violations or school speed camera violations are accumulated, any such violations accrued before the completion of the course will not be counted as violations. The law goes into effect the end of October of this year. However, the provisions allowing DOT to impose a safe vehicle operation course and to seize and impound vehicles goes into effect February 2021. The law has a sunset date of 3 years. Now, currently, when you get a red light camera or you get a speed camera, there's no points affiliated with it because really they have no way of knowing who was driving the vehicle. I mean, could be your employees, it could be you, but at least they let you slide on the points, because if you get pulled over by a cop for speeding or get pulled over for a cop for a red light, you will get points on your license. But this is just insane, and this is just another part of how we have to work here in the city, and unfortunately, it's a way of life. And why anybody would want to work here doing service work, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying that now. I didn't know any better when I started, but that's the way it is. And so this is life in the Big Apple, folks. So for those of you out in the suburbs who pull your trucks into people's driveways, be very, very thankful, because it's no party here. They hand out tickets left and right here. The tickets, there'll be multiple tickets during one service call. If you go in to do a service call and you're there, I don't know, for an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours to 4 hours, you could come out and conceivably have 3 or 4 tickets on your vehicle's windshield. So it's not inexpensive to do business here. A lot of guys working into their pricing, but it's just a ridiculous way to work, but that's the way it is here in the Big Apple. So you want to know what I do when I double park? I used to get a little legal pad, and I used to write on there the address with my phone number and tape it to the driver's side window. But that was becoming a real pain in the ass. So I went out to my printer, and he printed me up this nice little sign. And I basically write in there the address that I'm going to work on, and there's my phone number, but I'm going to block that out because I don't need to be getting phone calls from you guys. And yeah, but you know what most people do? They stay in their car and they lean on the horn. They don't even go around to see that I left a note of where I'm working. And if a truck's coming down the block, whether it be a garbage truck, an oil delivery truck, whatever the case may be, they'll just stop, they'll lean on their horn, they won't even bother getting out. So I have to keep an ear out for what's going on while I'm working. And if I'm 2-3 floors up, it's stressful. I'll usually tell the homeowner, can you keep an eye out on my truck outside in case somebody's trying to get by? But hey, that's life here in the Big Apple. And when this congestion pricing comes in, it's going to be crazy. I mean, vehicles are basically going to be penalized for working in the city during the day, which is the high traffic demand time of day. I mean, it's all day long. So if you got to go in and do a service call for a customer, you're going to get you're not going to get fined. They're going to impose a toll on you in certain geographic areas of the city. I think specifically it's Lower Manhattan, but I'll leave a link to the rules when it comes to the congestion pricing thing down below in the description below this video. But it's going to be one big headache, folks, and something else we're just going to have to deal with. I often come home and my wife is gloating. She opens up these violations I get or these tickets from the city. She's used to seeing these envelopes now, so she rips open the envelope and she opens it up. She places it on the counter for me to see when I get home at night. And she goes, "You got another one. You got another one. Pretty soon you'll be going to take a class." And I go, "Thank you, sweetheart." Anyway, listen, what are you guys thinking? I mean, if you work in a suburbia and you have the opportunity to take your van and put it in the homeowner's driveway, you guys are blessed. It's just one big stressful operation here in the city, but that's the way it is. And yeah, you can make a lot of money here in the city, but there's a lot of overhead involved. These speed cameras seem to be going up all over the place. And I got to tell you, there's a kind of an advocacy group out where I live in Staten Island that goes around and spray paints arrows and the word speed camera pointing up toward the camera so that people can see this as they're driving around. And, you know, the D.O.T. will come by and they will clean the paint, clean the graffiti off. And after they do that, it immediately gets put back again. So pretty much you can go around Staten Island, where I currently live, and see all these speeding cameras graffitied up with red arrows and the words speed camera to give drivers a head up. Yeah, I know they do this for safety reasons, but the bottom line is they make a boatload of money. I mean, they posted, I think, the amount of money they take in from different red light locations, and it's just incredible. I mean, it's a brilliant way to raise money, but they're screwing the hell out of the drivers. So what do you guys think? You want to come here and work in New York City? Hey, there's plenty of opportunity here for everybody. But you know what? I've had it, man. It's just crazy, crazy. And like I said, with a 20-minute double parking limit, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I double park probably 90% of the time. Anyway, I just wanted to make you guys aware of what goes on here in the city and how we kind of maneuver around. In Manhattan, it's worse. So I don't know how the guys who service the city do it. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for checking out the video once again. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. You might want to hit that notification bell so you know when I post new videos. But more importantly, hit the like button, because if you don't hit that like button, YouTube is not going to show this video to anybody. Keep an eye out for one of these two videos that they're going to pop up here to your right. One of them I chose, one of them YouTube recommended. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Stay well, stay parked, and happy plumbing.